Rose crosses over the fadeaway.
Let me step back and kiss myself.
Oh my gosh,
MVP
it's over.
time. Windy City Assassin does it again.
What up, Bulls fans? As of today, the Chicago Bulls had played their first preseason game against the Bucks. But before we dive into that, I missed a little bit of news regarding some offseason moves we made over the past couple of weeks. The Bulls essentially decided to move on from DeRozan and traded him to the Sacramento Kings for 2 first-round picks and Chris Duarte. As we wave bye to DeMar, potentially Zach, and Vooch, we welcome in our newly acquired young talent and an aspiring Josh Giddey and Jalen Smith, who is essentially just Bubble Bass. But on a real note, I don't mind the Bulls blowing up their team because of an incredible 2025 draft class with Cooper Flagg at the forefront. I am not one for tanking, but the group of guys we had really just seemed to reach a peak. But now let's get into 19-year-old Matas Buzelis' first Summer League performance. Just to preface, most of these guys on the roster, aside from Julian Phillips and Adam Sanogo, will not make the team. The initial impression of Buzelis' performance might have been underwhelming to some of you guys, but this kid could play. Right off the bat, I noticed his ability to draw contact and get to the free throw line, which is a skill alone in today's NBA. Also, what stood out was his ability to handle the rock as a big guy. Buzelis played very aggressive, which he should, going up against guys who will never sniff a roster spot in the NBA. He did turn the ball over at times, but that's to be anticipated as a teenager in the league. My perception of Buzelis is that he has a good and strong work ethic and really cares about the game of basketball. Needless to say, who knows how the kid will be in a couple of years, but he did some things today that you would really like to see as a fan. The Bulls will be pretty poor for a couple of years as it seems they have went into full rebuild mode. So yeah, I'm under the impression that the kid can play. Obviously, we can't judge his entire NBA career by one Summer League game, but he showed you some little things. Just by being super aggressive, I think that's something that Patrick Williams lacks. Like, Patrick has the skill set, but just doesn't have the aggression to go to the rim every time. But yeah, Matas, I mean, the kid I know that he has a basketball tattoo on his leg, so you don't just get that tatted if you're not committed to the sport. He's young, he's athletic, he could jump, he could rebound, he could pass. So yeah, nonetheless, I think the Bulls will be very bad for the next 2 to 3 years. Unless they can somehow land Cooper Flagg, then you could kind of have a situation where, similar to the Spurs, how they have Victor Wembanyama and just signed Chris Paul. So now, I mean, they're kind of relevant. And then if they can somehow add another piece to that or get a good pick, Spurs are instantly in conversation. But it's pretty sad that when all the guys were healthy, meaning Lonzo, Zach, DeMar, Vooch, the team was first in the Eastern Conference. And as soon as Lonzo goes down, it just blows up. And they literally only played a handful of games together. So that kind of sucks, just as a Bulls fan. We thought that we had something going there and have to start from literally ground zero here. But yeah, you weren't going to do anything with just DeMar and just Zach. You kind of have to restart and get guys through the draft, like what the OKC Thunder did. The Spurs got lucky with the alien-like Victor, but I mean, what they did and how the Warriors built their team. I mean, it's so difficult to land a superstar in this day and age. I mean, all the superstars get paid. So, I think Zach will be on the team up until the trade deadline because they're talking about attaching a first-round pick to him just to get rid of him, and I just don't see the sense in that. I think you retain him even if he's unhappy. You know, you retain him. He shows the league that he could play, and at the deadline, someone will think that they are a Zach LaVine away from winning a championship or a title or going to the playoffs. So that's what you do with Zach. And Vooch, I've been done with Vooch for probably the last year. He shot really poorly from the field last season. And he is a good player, but I think it's just time to go young everywhere. So let me know what you guys thought of Matas' performance. If you think he's going to be an all-star in the future, what is your initial impression of the kid? Let me know if you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button, and see you guys next time.